Dia which dia Dave Gaeilge Conna sa táú conna sa tá sibh. Um so Seamus McLuey is Animdom. I'm Jamie McLew. Welcome to Rendezvous. Um so apologies with the lighting here if you're watching. It's a little dark and gloomy of an evening in Dublin at the moment. But anyway, so I'm going to be talking about something very close to my heart, which is the Gaelic language, the Irish language, Gaeilge. But and So it's the native language of Ireland, right? So the language of my ancestors. So if you go back, my parents are both Irish, but I was born and raised in Australia. Maybe you can hear it. Um, but yeah, and then now I live in Ireland again. I kind of moved back. My parents, still over there, so I've done the double immigration thing. I've like changed my mind, so to speak. Anyway, and I have kids here, and yeah, I'm teaching myself Irish, and I've been doing that for a number of years. And I'm raising my kids through Irish, but so actually, their mother is Czech, so they're actually getting three languages. We have English, Czech, and Irish. I speak Irish to them as much as possible, and like I'll be like, oh, what's the word for that? And I'll like look it up, and then we're learning it together, you know. Um, and then they're getting the Czech from their mum, and then together we're speaking English, you know. And so they get the English from that. So, but anyway, I don't know. Well, it's a bit of an experiment. We're going to see how it goes, but I think it's going to work out grand, you know. And the main thing is I enjoy it, you know. It's like a thing. It's not like a hassle. It's like or something I need to do to, you know, meet someone's expectations. It's just like it's beautiful. It's just fun. It's like music, you know. Um, and so I think that's the thing. The education system, for whatever reason, seems to kind of do at every turn almost do the exact opposite of what you should do if you want to revive the language. Um, and so, you know, okay, that is what it is. But the spirit of like fun, that's the very, very important. It should be fun. So, um, we when I think what I'm going to talk about today is basically like how what I think about how to incorporate the language into daily life. So if you want to improve your Irish and if you want to actually just live through Irish, it's actually not that hard. You just need to, as someone said, like a pop-up Gaeltacht I was at, where um, in pop-up Gaeltacht Cosh Bar, Bayside, part of Dublin, like a few years ago. Someone said like they had gone from like nothing. I guess they had did it in school, but they kind of forgot everything, and they kind of got up to a very high level. And someone was like, "Yeah, what's the secret? How do you do it?" And he's like, "Just keep saying the words," with a big smile, like. And I think it's very wise. Basically, grammar and all that can follow. That's not that important up front. It's important, but it's nowhere near as important as that you're speaking the language and the language is alive. So with me, my grammar is, I try to have good grammar, but that's not my main thing. And I know I'm making all these grammar mistakes all the time, but I don't really care because I'm using the language. Hooray, you know? And I'm not really worried about that, and even with my kids, I'm sure I'm passing on a ton of errors to my kids because I've got a pretty low level of Irish. It's like kind of lower intermediate, I guess. Um, but it's better than nothing, so it is what it is. But just say the words. It's all about vocabulary. Like, so one thing you can do is just talk to yourself, but just while you're looking around, just name stuff. Be like, oh, book, table, but in Irish, say, oh, lower, board, Kodesh, wait, oh yeah, blah, 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 telefish or whatever, Um, and so if you don't remember, then you can pull out one of these, a little dictionary, or you can go, online. But yeah, basically, just speak and just so I think if you've all you really need, so long as you haven't got a confidence issue, but many people do with like, well, people are going to judge me. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But once that's all out of the way and it's just you don't really care. Yeah, I'm just going to have fun and use the language. Okay. Because the confidence stuff, that's not about Irish. That's about human nature and psychology, right? So the language itself, all you really need is just you say the words. If you have a ton of, say if someone comes up to you like, um, train station, Not, no. 2:30. Go. Need. You be, oh, you need to go to the train station. Your train's at 2:30. Okay. So their grammar is awful, but if they give you enough words, you understand perfectly. And so that's the thing, like it's the priority. Meanwhile, if you've got amazing grammar, but you haven't got good enough vocabulary, which is kind of my situation. My grammar's not amazing, but I've, decent enough grammar for the basics, but I just don't know all the words. I need to, build that memory. I wasn't, raised in Ireland, so I didn't have even it's not like it's coming back to me, maybe from past lives or something, but like I have to kind of learn it. Anyway, so much to say. Yeah, and this is the basic thing. Just use the language, throw in little words here, there, and everywhere. Don't worry if other people, So, yeah, about the emotional stuff. Like, p people might be worried, like, oh, I'm gonna look stupid, or oh my God, I don't speak my native language, or they might be worried. But then that's not your fault. That's like the system and historical stuff. So no worries. And then there might be like, oh man, I don't want to make other people feel awkward and other people feel stupid and ashamed. Maybe your Irish is great, but you don't want to speak it because then other people think, aha, you've got notions, huh? You think you're better than me. Or they're like, oh my God, I can't remember what to say. He said Garmarget. What do I say here? Um, so, but thing is, what's better? You're polite about it and you don't make people feel uncomfortable. Some people are going to be fine anyway, but some people will feel uncomfortable. So you avoid making people uncomfortable, and the language dies because no one's speaking it. Okay, that's A. B is the language survives, but some people felt a bit uncomfortable in the process. It's like, well, that sounds fine, doesn't it? It helps the people get over themselves anyway, which is good for them too. Like I use it all the time. I'll be on the bus. Doesn't matter if you're Irish or Turkish or whatever, whoever's driving. We're like, yeah, Garamarget when I'm getting off. And also it's giving, courage to other people. Oh yeah, you can just speak the language. You hear every other language here nowadays. Why not Irish? It's probably the one you hear least, ironically. Um, it's probably a 10th down the pole after Russian, Arabic, Spanish, or Portuguese. But anyway, um, so yeah, and with so it's just kind of try to laugh and just have fun, and even laugh at yourself. That's kind of the thing. Like if you laugh at yourself already, then say you're talking to someone and you're in Irish and you're making mistakes, instead of being like, oh, ah um oh my God, that's not really that fun to be talking to someone who's kind of so neurotic. So just if you can just laugh and be like, oh my God, my Irish is crazy, ha ha ha, and just treat it like it's a joke, which it is really, they're going to be more relaxed because I don't have to, you're not a burden on me. I don't have to worry about supporting you or something emotionally. Um, and it's like, even if they were like a bit of an idiot and they were going to try to judge you, if you're already laughing at yourself, they can't really be us against them, kind of, haha, look at you, fool. Because you're kind of together laughing. So it's kind of like it breaks down that dynamic. And just basically like I did this when I was learning French. I used to live in Montreal. I kind of found that helps me get over the anxiety stuff. It's like just laugh at yourself. And then, yeah, it's not they can't laugh at you, they can laugh with you. Anyway, so, but yeah, and so that's a little bit about that. But so, yeah, so just use the words. If you're say throw in little bits of Irish when you're with people, and you'll some people aha, they just barely acknowledge it. Or I'm a cafe, I'll go, yeah, Garamarget, thanks, you know, or even just Garamarget, and they know what I'm saying from the situation. But maybe some Chinese dude like yeah, yeah, but oh, that's some way of saying thank you, obviously, but I don't recognize that. What was that? You know, um, and it's good for them. They're getting more contact with Irish culture, right? And then but there's like say a friend of mine who works at a cafe, and I would go into the cafe all the time, and I'd just be like, yeah, Garmag, and then he would be like, yeah, yeah, tug Gaeilge good, and like he responded a bit, and then we both of us, our Irish got better together because he was interested also, but didn't really have someone to talk to. So if you just put out the thing, yeah, most people will just ignore it, or you know, maybe some people will be like, oh, I don't know, what should I say here, and be tiny bit interested, and you just be cool, like, oh yeah, no worries, all good, oh yeah, he says Fulcher, or Fulcher Road, yeah, yeah, but then some people you will find each other where you're like, you've got great Irish, or people who are fluent and stuff. Um, and so, yeah. Anyway, that's the kind of thing. And then when you're speaking, yeah, if you don't know what to say in Irish, just throw in an English word or expression. And then when you know Irish again, go back to the Irish. Um, and just with yourself, even if you've got no one to talk to, just talk to yourself. We're always doing it in English anyway, so just do it in Irish instead. Be like, "Oh, okay, that guy's such an asshole. Why did he do that to me? And that's so unfair. And oh my God, whatever you're thinking. Or if you're, oh, I got this thing. Oh, I better do that. And oh, or maybe you've got more positive self-talk. I don't know. But there's a lot of negativity in the world, is there not? And within, we have to cleanse that. We have to be careful. Meditate, cleanse ourselves. But nonetheless, instead of doing that in English, do it in Irish, which also will probably make you more mindful because your mind won't be able to just go on autopilot so much. It'll slow things down a little bit, gives you more space in between the thoughts, which is actually what mindfulness is all about. So that's actually, um, not a bad idea, even from a, wellness and consciousness perspective. But yeah, and yeah, it's great fun being like, okay, thinking in Irish, which is just talking to yourself in Irish, out loud or in your head. So, and then whenever you don't know what to say, yeah, you go look up the word. So, for example, I'll be like, all right, and what I've started doing is just I have this little pocket dictionary. I just flick it open each day to something and just learn something. All right, what do we got? Hunk. All right, a hunk of bread, etc. Canter. This is one thing, canter, because I didn't go to school here. Sometimes my pronunciation is way off. So it could be like counter or something. I don't know. But I know Irish is generally quite regular with phonetics, unlike English. Just another thing, Irish is not like hard or something. Like, look, my Irish isn't great, but so far I've been pretty busy. I haven't really focused on studying it. I've never taken a class or anything. I met a teacher a while back, and I did met him like 4 times, 5 times, and he taught me some stuff just for free, just hanging out over coffee. But never had a proper course or anything. But I can have conversations and stuff. I'm an English teacher, so I understand the way these things work, so that I could focus on the right things. Um, and so what I'm telling you, by the way, like I know what I'm talking about because I do this for English. I know how you learn a language. And the main thing is vocabulary. So once you know the words and you know how to say them, pronunciation, and ideally you know how to spell them as well, so you can write. But the speaking is more important. We had speaking and listening for millions of years, or a very long time before we had reading and writing. But anyway, yeah, the main thing's knowing the words and knowing how to say them, which is basically knowing them, right? Um, then you're good. Um, but yeah, so anyway, canter. Okay, canter is like a hunk. So canter ran, hunk of bread, I guess, or canter anum, hunk of soul. I don't know. But yeah, and then okay, or I could go from the Gaeilge side of things, right? So we go. What have we got? Gach, okay, of an animal, maned, or like a bit long-haired. Ah, so okay, so like a maned, like a lion, pa and leon, uh, mongach, the lion is maned, or the fair mongach, there was a long-haired man there, I think. And then for terrain, it means marshy. Whoa, mongach. Wow, it's a bit mongach here, lads. I don't know. Maybe we should go back. That's good. Good stuff. All right. So also before I'm gonna embody this. I'm just gonna talk a little bit in Irish, um, uh, and just show like yeah, it's not great. I'll be going into English in bits, whatever. But and just continue what I'm saying here. But I want to put this in English just because so it's more accessible. Agus ní féidir uh, chur na smuoine bhean gohéasca leis Gaeilge ach is dócha is féidir uh céin sé is féidir bailach a rinse bailach some way I'd be able to, but anyway, just to put it out there. And so anish Baimwich ag Lanarai will be continuing as Gaeilge ach anish just before let's just look here, something to share with you. If you could support me, I'd really appreciate it. I have, I am somewhat of a impoverished artist who's, doing my best in the world, but uh, I have self-published some books, poetry so far. I've got some short stories coming out soon, so I'll let you keep you posted about that. Rings Round the Mind, a collection of 12 short stories. So if you're more into the narrative, most people are, that's coming out very soon. Should be by the end of this month. Um, but yeah, so Homecoming to a Foreign Land, about Ireland, my experience being from the diaspora, coming back home, and what it is to be Irish, what it is to be a person, and also about Ireland and what's going on in Ireland and what's the history and what the different aspects of the culture and the weather and the nature and whatever, all kinds of stuff. Um, I am. This is my first one I published before that. I am Poems in Search of Spiritual Awakening. So this is Amazon. You can just type in Jamie McGlue. So that's me, right? If that wasn't clear. And yeah, you could buy them for a tenner each. Go míle agaibh. It would really help me, and I'm sure you'll dig it. It's really like, these things sounds cliched maybe, but it really does come just through you. There's some like the surfer on the wave. Yeah, I'm doing something here. There's my skill involved, but I'm not creating the wave, and so I'm kind of channeling what I feel is coming from God or the universe, and yeah, so I think I really enjoy it. I'm sure um, you will. So yeah, go on. And then if we look here, so this is if you're looking for words, you've got your little dictionary here, but online, I'll go with this, Changan Punk IE. So uh, basically, whatever you type in something like, okay, what is I don't know, let's say maze. Yeah, what is a maze in Irish? And so now you've got these tabs. So this will be says folklore, like so dictionary, Gaeilge to Barla. And then this one is another one, but and you can see it's from 1991. This one's 1977. This one doesn't have an entry for maze. The third one, English to Irish Dictionary, 959, that does. So you can see it's got a few different dictionaries, three of them. And then you've got Grammadach, so it's kind of talking about the grammar, nothing to mention here. And then also pronunciation, Fóthar. So if we go, all right, maze, oh, apparently it's lubra. You click on it, lubra. It's like loops, links, or a maze. Oh, okay, so it's like a loop also. What's that collective? Loops, links. Okay, so and then here it's saying M, like masculine. So there's some grammar stuff I'm not too clear on, but it's lubra anyway. But it's a noun because masculine's for the nouns, feminine or masculine. Um, GS, so genitive singular. So it's like genitive is like when you're saying like where it comes from. If you're like police car or something in English, that would be like what kind of car? It's a police car. That's or so when you've got words where it's being used almost like an adjective, it's kind of saying the type of thing or where it comes from. So if you say like the people of Ireland or something, Muintir Neheran, Éireann, and it's not like Ireland, like as you would say in the object, like I love Ireland. That would be EANN at the end, but it's INN because it's the genitive. Maybe you know this already. You went to school or whatever. But basically, that would be like the of Ireland. So and then this is the plural, and so it just says oh you add I fodder at the end, so it'd be lubri. Anyway, so that's just a basic thing. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but and you can get pronunciation. All right, so Lubra, let's go.
Lubre,
So that's in Dúnanál or Tír Connell. Lubra and
Lubra, Lubra.
all right, so it's basically all the same. But you will notice some of them are quite wildly different. For example, the name of the language, to anyone who took issue with me saying Gaelic at the beginning, let's listen. So what we would say Gaeilge is
Goelin,
so in Munster, they're saying Gaelin, right? That'd be the traditional name, I think, instead of Gaeilge. And then Connacht,
Gaeilge,
Gaeilge. So we're using the Connacht name, really. And then in the north,
Gaelic,
Gaelic. So actually, which I think also in Scotland, they say Gaelic. Um, so they do, don't they? I think maybe Gaelic or slightly different. But anyway, so whatever you want to call it, Gaelic, whatever Gaeilge, Gaelin. So in Changa Island, Marshin, agus Google Translate. I wouldn't feel like I'm sinking too low to use this because this is where say the dictionary here. Sorry, you can't put whole phrases in there. Sometimes it'd be like be interested in. I don't know. Does it have a phrase for that? Mm, no. Or he is interested in it. So it doesn't even that, but sometimes you might have a phrase where it's there, look forward to, there might be a phrase, but a whole sentence, it doesn't it's not like Google Translate. So Google Translate is pretty limited with Irish. There's no pronunciation for one thing, but you can use it. And so I could be like, oh, I have no idea how to say this. So say I'm writing a text, I'll use this, and then the key is I don't just copy and paste it because then you're not learning anything. You are giving an impression you're better than you are, but it doesn't really matter. But the main thing is you're not learning. So instead, if I was like, okay, disappointed, I don't know how to say that. I was disappointed. I go, oh, V Dima Arum. V Dima Arum. Oh, okay. Dima. And then maybe just to check, I could just go remove that. Disappointed. Diamach. Okay. Diamach. Okay. Interesting. Slightly different. And then what if I go disappointment? Because I think there should be there was disappointment on me, right? Um, so if we have or you could just check Diama goes to disappointment, right? Or if you say, for example, here's one other thing just about this, how to use it. Um, and so yeah, you look at it and then you type it into email or whatever, and then you're probably going to forget, oh wait, what's the end of the sentence? You go back, look at it. Okay. So you're using your memory and it's getting into your memory. If you look at it, you don't copy paste it. You go to your phone or to the email and you do it from memory, but just like word by word or phrase by phrase, you know? And then it's like you're using it, it's becoming part of your language, you know. And then so say if I was like if you said for example uh table, yeah, if we say um the information was in a table, you know, like table, like columns and rows, right? But then, oh, a table's got two meanings. Anytime something's got two meanings, you need to be a bit careful. Oh, okay, wait. But you call them gaan, right? Beter tashe, Niels in focal cart might not be the right word. So, um, I'll check. Okay, so vi in fashionesh or ashnesh idabla. Okay. Dabla. Okay, so it's just the D because it's like the what do you call that? Is that lenition or uru? Uru, no? It's like, but anyway, whatever. So okay, tabla. So if I go here, I go, I'll delete the rest. I'll just keep tabla. I'll see what does it tell me? It says it's table. Okay. And then okay, so it should be, but then let's see, I'll try another one. If I go, the food is on the table, is it going to tell me tabla? No, it says board. Right. Okay. Cool. So it seems like, I don't know, but I'm guessing, okay, table, like for information, that's tabla, but table for eating is board. I don't know if you could say tabla also, but that's clear enough where I can go, okay, I get the basic idea. And or sometimes, say it's like I put tabla there and it's like yeah, it says um I yeah, I can't think of an example right now, but sometimes you will, if you just mess around with things, you'll notice things which don't, which surprise you, like, oh, but, and then you can maybe see, oh, maybe it's not the right word, because when I put it the other way, it translates into a different concept, etc. So anyway, all right, that's enough there. So let's see, Arash, Tamwij Ansha. Right, so again, Gomelishka, I'll be making some mistakes and all that. So, but this is the whole point. I think everyone, I encourage, like, so, it would be so good for Ireland, especially the whole thing of humans getting into the matrix and stuff. People in China, blah, 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 every different country, like Brazil, whatever. Everyone needs to ground down into just being a human and not getting lost in technology and then lost in ideas and in the mind so much, right? The future of the planet and humanity really depends on this, having a shift of consciousness and grounding down. We can keep, as Carl Jung said, a tree can only, well, he said the tree can only grow, the branches can only grow up to heaven if its roots touch down to hell. That's slightly different. It's more about, suffering and joy, but, and, shadow, facing the shadows within, the things we would prefer to ignore, perhaps. But I think it also works for like, kind of having managing technology and all this advanced stuff. We can only do that if we're deeply grounded in our primal nature. You need to be balanced. Anyway, so in Ireland, we have this great opportunity to go into the language, and I think that is a real way that can help us, and that can maybe inspire other people to do a similar thing. But everyone's got their own ways. But in any case, there will be some mistakes here and all that, but whatever. So, Ceart a niche, cod, and I'm going one word at a time, word by word or word by phrase. It's like playing music as you do it more and more, or martial arts or dance. At the first time you have to focus a lot to do it, but then it becomes automatic, some sort of muscle memory involved, and those neural pathways are just well developed. So it's just boom, it just zap, 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 and it's automated. And so then the creativity and the focus is more about organizing chunks, pre-existing chunks. Whereas instead of just organizing what, word by word, you're chunk by chunk. And that's what I'm doing right now in English, right? The reason it can be so fast. So anyway, Gaeilge. Right. Cad warlam a lorch. Well, anish, beidir bechordum a trasig leis uh, yeah, bhhálam a rá gar míle mágwaíomh go dtí ar sin siar na daine a raibh an seo in éireann fadó ag 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 dhéanamh na rudí simplí na sféal agus you know uh, ach gan iad cod cod a raibh what would we have? Ooh, cod's a may a gwyn gan na dina na hismahori na or hismahori or hismahori so mar sin yeah agus tá sé creiceáilte a smaoine faoiad ó no faoi sin tá min éidir in bailla clia tá mé me choní an seo agus má nuair a bhfuil mé ag féich na crainnig an seo na nach agus an cuialta agus na Avon or stream, cad é streams mar sin ach it's féidir am a béich an seo ach cearcolóir inis fibre bit but bhí na daine an seo freisin bhí sé difriúil tá na crainnig ag fás freisin agus na na daine ag achraigh an tír leis bug an soil an seo, bug sé an seo. Tá sé monagach an seo cura sand, what's that, Galah? Yes, agam. Ach, ó Garibh. Ach, fós, bhí sé in general cheapam bhí sé an rud céine an áit céine agus an anam na náit tá sé an rud céine tá sé an seo fós ag fás freisin agus tá sé is achas mór uh, uh, agus is beannacht agus saoirse privilege is ceapan go bhfuil is féidir lena úsáid saoirse níl amháin le haig freedom ach freisin cúpla smaoinemh difriúil ach privilege freisin agus nobility ar aonas is beannacht é a bheith i san scéal na almanna or an scéal na domhain agus leis ar chláán as na the ages past fadó and agus well okay sin é agus inis beidir okay focal cad a bhfuil muid cad a bhfuil ann in aicealam an seo so mar sin picture candle cad é candle Shandale níos agam leabhar lán leabhar agus níos mó picture chlóirseach an seo is éhan am an chlóirseach oh yeah agus tá salas an seo agus an board cachuir so cosú le seo is féidir linn run through dul trí a lán focail agus just cuimhnig a cuimhnig, cad é cad é an am anam uh, as gach rud mar sin bé mé ag críochnathe cheapan ach tásúlagam bhí sé úsáideach le haig sibsa agus uh, ní eagla áirit. Is that right? And sé ceart the imperative like don't be afraid. Ní so say yeah in Uranus bantan of us leis an teanga de teanga is de mise me chláán um, me bháthair tá is féidir a Lord cunis like quiet cunis kids cunis come on agus ní cheapam go bhfuil focail eile aige inis me áthair is féidir leo a rá cúpla níos mó like like Pogue Mahone óla mé just a bháin Pogue Mahone is even le mé sé me gaan agus gach rud sin agus goméimi bio ag an am seo a ríis is like bhí mé ag cur ceist like an bhfuil is go rud ag an eile agus yeah mar sin agus me sean wathair me sean áthair cheapam me sean áthair trí me wathair hí Gaeilge go má bh Gaeilge má ige ach ní ní is ní raibh is agam faoi Gaeilge ar bith nuair a raibh sé ar an dáin linn. Bhí mé like Sinead O'Connor ar an CD like nuair a bhfuil me wathair ag dhéanamh an dinéir like cad a bhfuil si ag Lord Town like óró siad a bacha bhhaile óró siad like some crackálse yeah like scatting like jazz or fresh agus yeah bhí ní bhí me hisismothirí like okay tosaigh nó rinne Jane Jarmid faoi éan agus uh, more or less agus mar sin bhí sé ach bhí Gaeilge aige béidir beagán Gaeilge ag me sean wathair eile agus sean áthair ach beagnach náit níl a lá Gaeilge ach de hisismothirí a ríis arú yes agam béidir iad cheapan go bhfuil is tá nó is tá mé yeah tá me seanmhathair well na hisismothirí na seanmhathair as muo mar Mona Lisa mar sin béidir ceapan go bhfuil Gaeilge ag na chláán ann at some point ach okay so Misha yeah kind of anglophone níl Gaeilgeoir fine in cúpla last few centuries better or century at least ach uh, tá Medina as meach lia ach riamh maio monachan monachan is gom an tibredáin Tibrodon, um, agus Leish, agus no, Temple and Arch, agus mar, rewinds the clock. um, uh, gach aine Gaeilge. Gach in Gaeilge. Um, gach McClan, gach clan tusa. Vi Bhí iad ag Lord Gaeilge i gcónaí. Bearla, bhí sé minority teanga go dtí like 1800 agus beidir even but the famine around ceapan go bhfuil. Ceapan go bhfuil sé yeah, bhí sé ag growing like 1800s. It's kind of okay, bhí bearla ag fás galore. Um, leis, ní bhí sé anna níos héasca a bheith agus airgid a dhéanamh um, agus úsáideann an teanga as na Sasanach ach fós ceapan credum bhí Gaeilge an dominant fós go dtí an famine an Gorta Mór agus tar éis seo the an cuid is mó um uh boss mort hí an Gortamór ag mort uh uh níos mó Gaeilgeoirí agus whoops, I committed a genocide, whoopsies. Ach sin é agus so Bearla tá sé it's from clan is most families clan is smó yeah bhíl níl sé like míle bliana ó hin no, is tá sé or is timpeall beidir um, uh, céad bliana ó hin, dó céad bliana ó hin, trí céad bliana ó hin. Beidir, your probably your great 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 grandparents, the grandparents of your grandparents of your grandparents, probably spoke Irish only, right? And like, ní féidir linn a dul níl sé reachtach a dul ró ád bula seo. Mar sin, is teanga tusa is teanga mise agus Tom as an astral, yeah, Tom is muntúr teanga ó Teanglan mé ach yeah, okay, tá sé níos éasca beidir ach níl mig focused Gaeilge galore tá bíam ag úsáideann an teanga trí an lá mar sin tá bhíam ag iirecht a dhéanamh úsáid sé nuair bhfuil mé ag smaoinemh agus nuair bhfuil mé ag Lord le fáistí tá ag úsáid Gaeilge unless I'm really tired or something or in a terrible mood and I'm like I'm just gonna go easy and just use English. No freisin beidir níos agam in focail. So okay, achró mé go dtí bearla agus an arás go dtí Gaeilge. Mar sin, tá just chur effort, chur an energy ann. Ach, níl sé a lán, really glóir. Tá sé, éasca ceapan go bhfuil. It's just a choice, just do it and mar bhhail leat, tá sé slightly less convenient. It would be easier if I just spoke English. Ach, life, what's life is not about doing everything as easy as possible and then dying. It's like on your gravestone, he found the easiest way possible. Oh, well, sounds like an impressive person. They spent their life well. No, meaning often comes from difficulties in pursuit of the gold, you know, slaying the dragon to get the gold, to get the girl, or whatever. Um, and usually the high hanging fruit, you have to climb a few branches, and then when you get it, it's been closer to the sun, closer to the fresh airs, further from, other hens and maybe animals and whatever. And um, it is pure, it's the best stuff. The higher you go, pure it is. And you have that feeling of, oh, I got it. I worked for this. And you really appreciate it. And so it's in life is saoil. Um, Ceapan go sé anna, you know, you know, even um, freisin leis féin self-interest, a bheith gomá, le haig lumsa, you know, le haig mise féin, even from a selfish standpoint. Yeah, like is fear dhéanamh na rudí deachar um gotí ar an bailach gotí na rudí uh, na rudí má bhálinn. Um, mar sin, yeah, bí mé ag úsáid an Gaeilge, yeah, tá sé níos deachar nó níos deachar nó no, just úsáid an béla. Ach níl sé ródeachar agus freisin, like tá sé, tá achas orm uh, agus tá sé, gomá le haig me brain freisin, níos mó active, agus focus, mindfulness leis an lunner agus uh, you know solace isteach ré nos yeah, leanaraig tásúlagum um, is féidir am cúnig a níos daine níos mó daine a swing faoi seo, like, oh yeah, níl sé Jacker, just okay, like just cúr focail Gaeilge nó focail béarla leis na small thing na rudí beag saoil cos le, like, yeah, oh, anis, tá tuirse orm, tá tuirse orm, tá chaile orm. Beidir be chuirdum cafe a dhéanamh, yeah. Tar éis seo béis sé go mar sin, okay, an seo cáil sé yeah, yeah, dún é chuir sin an, yeah, yeah, good. Whatever, leis de chlán ó leis just tusa féin. Agus yeah, and tá sé go le haig gach duine ach freisin na daine, you know. Tá sé béis sé go chana healing le haig na daine. Cad é healing? I will finish with that. Bé chuíoch fan muid leis é. Healing. So H-A, no, I want H-E-L. That's too far. I need to go H-E-A, so H-E, head. Okay, D, L's after D, so let's go. Whereas heal, heaven, are health, heal. All right. Heal is leas or knasig. So gnasig or leas, leas, yes again. Agus uh so cad é healing, is it, oh, I don't see healing on Sean Neil. Mar sin ach beidir gnasigach or lechasach beidir níosagam. We'll, we'll make a word. If people are like, that's not a word, okay, fine. I don't know. Tommy Gusadian and check. Blame the genocidists. Don't blame me. I'm just bringing back the language, yeah, Martian, Beishe, Gahana, or yeah, Lechasoimwich, a Knasig, Knasoimwich, and Changa, Nurwil, Mwich, better 20%, 50%, or no, maybe 60%, or whatever, or 40% na hairan ag Lord Gaeilge beganin, beganin, train and law, agus beidir, yeah, 20, 30% big number using it as their main language, leis bearla, agus, beidir are, grandchildren, cutty grandchildren. Oig, wait, it'll be oig, no, it couldn't be oig her. I don't miss it. But okay. But pasti. Oh, no, yeah, níos again. Aranos. The grandchildren, the great grandchildren, it can have that transition where Beishe and níos éasca úsáidí and Gaeilge beidir. And with the memory fields, if you look at the work of Rupert Sheldrake about mnemonic fields and uh, like basically memory fields, the way the idea is the scientist Rupert Sheldrake is saying life works with like organisms, the blueprints, the reason why the wing knows how to grow or the caterpillar knows how to turn to a butterfly. It's all based on these memory blueprints, and it's the universe is made of pure consciousness, not dead matter. It's actually that as panpsychism in philosophy has discovered, and or is making the case for, and as quantum physics has seems to have discovered, and people like Dean Radin or whatever in the Noetic Institute and stuff. The universe actually is conscious and consciousness, and as mystics were always telling us, and the way it seems like organisms develop through the kind of memory fields, and so your family is a certain stream of memory. My father is a good writer, and does a lot of writing, so I'm good at writing, and it's probably not a coincidence. It's probably been passed on. You have these lineages, and less, Ireland, so many Irish people play music and love music and are good at music. And is that a coincidence that, we have the harp on our flag? No other country has that as a musical instrument as an emblem, that I'm aware of. And we can go back in ancient times, and the poets and the musicians were like at the level of kings, in social status. It was always worshipped. And I don't think it's a coincidence. And so with the Changa, má achroimid gotí Gaeilge arís, it's joke beidh sé just níos alignedach leis our DNA, and just and the yeah, the memory fields, and beidir, but agus I gcónaí beidh sé beidh crackíontach ann immert, agus explore, agus yeah, a bheith sa teanga Álainn an Gaeilge. Mar sin, gur míle mágwaibh, uh, Jamie McGlue is anam dom, Seamus McLouis, agus yeah, uh, mar war leat, lean araig, subscribe, agus like the video, share the video, tell your nanny, agus is féidir leat atá an seo, agus ceannig homecoming to a foreign land. Tá cúpla poems filiocht as Gaeilge ann freisin, agus the most part in English, but yeah, agus an seo. Mar sin é, gur míle mágwaibh, gach beannacht, agus slán go fóill.